Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is BigWynter and today I've got your weekly roundup of gaming's biggest news and developments. So without further ado, let's dive right into story number one. Starting things off, let's talk about the use of AI in the gaming industry. Whilst I think this kind of discussion is being had in every industry over the last couple of years, with games like the finals releasing, it does raise an interesting question on the use of AI in such a creative and artistic world that is video games. I think it's also fairly safe to say that video games are now well respected as a form of storytelling media, and the voice actors who play our favorite characters deserve the same level of stardom as many of our favorite actors from shows and movies. On this note, video game actors have now taken strike for the first time since 2017 after many months of negotiations with big publishers like Activision and Epic Games over higher pay, better safety measures, and protection from new generative AI technologies. But this raises a sensitive question. Can AI really deliver a better and more immersive gaming experience than a talented voice actor? Generative AI allows for unique and expansive universes like in No Man's Sky, not possible with traditional game development, but AI is not at the point now where conversations with NPCs are fluid and realistic. But what happens when that time comes? Can your favorite voice actor compete with generative dialogue where each player's relationship with an NPC is uniquely different? How many voice lines can one actor record? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Now, our next story has been shrouded in some controversy for a while since the game's announcement, and that game is Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, many fans of the series have been requesting a game set in feudal Japan for a while, but it seems as though Ubisoft have gone about it in a seriously wrong way. So much so that the Japanese government has taken to stepping in to release public statements around their outrage at the game's development. Now, Assassin's Creed Shadows is far from the first game set in feudal Japan, but the game has come under fire for its historical inaccuracies and complete and utter disrespect for Japanese history and culture. Additionally, a petition to boycott the game has reached over 80,000 signatures. Now, some of the reasons the game has had such harsh commentary are as follows. The game follows Yasuke, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, a non-fictional individual who is a black man who served Oda Nobunaga, although much of his life had little documentation. Many feel this is in poor taste, as why choose Yasuke as the main character rather than the millions of more traditional samurai. Many say this is intentionally woke for the sake of it, but honestly, it just sounds like the more intriguing story to me. Furthermore, Ubisoft are under fire for the horrendous price gouging leading up to the game's release. With 3 tiers of pre-order as well as a subscription service option, the price plans are designed in such a way to hook you into the subscription plan or the most expensive edition of £115, which is beyond absurd. And finally, why the Japanese government is so flustered is there have been claims made that generative AI was lazily used to create much of the setting in the game, which has led to the injection of Chinese architecture and even Chinese subtitles into feudal Japan. It may be that AI was not used in the game's development, but it would certainly seem like models were trained using photos of real Japanese architecture but were not thoroughly vetted. What do you make of the Assassin's Creed controversy? Are the community overreacting, or are they valid in their frustrations? Speaking of frustrations, it's been somewhat a rough last 12 months or so for many Xbox users, or more specifically, owners of the Xbox 360 and for the Xbox One users. For those of you that didn't know, the Xbox 360 marketplace shut down at the end of 2023, which as a 360 kid does make me strangely sad. But more recently, many Xbox One users have reported being unable to update their firmware, which has left them unable to access many online features such as certain multiplayer systems, as well as access to some games entirely. Microsoft have not yet revealed any information on the reason behind the firmware issue, and as of yet have not issued or released a possible fix. Now, the reason both these points are interesting is it does actually raise a really solid question in the gaming industry. Is the move away from physical games a good thing or a bad thing? Now, as someone who has access to the internet almost all of the time and plays 99% of my games on Steam, I'm a huge fan of digital media in games. But in the recent cases of the Xbox One and Xbox 360, the fact that many features are locked behind online connectivity means many players eventually become unable to access new content for the games or some of the games that they paid for entirely. With physical discs, this is much less of an issue, and many fans have spoken out about online-only consoles like the digital editions of the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. What do you think? Next up, we're on to our quickfire round, looking at game updates, rumors, and new releases coming in the next month or so. First on the agenda here, the 2024 superstar that nobody saw coming, Palworld. Version 3.4 was recently released and implements a ton of bug and patch fixes, including various quality of life improvements and balance adjustments, especially to the Xbox and Game Pass versions of the game. Earlier this month, we also saw the new island, new oil rig stronghold, and the new raid boss spring into action, among a few other key additions. With it came a massive jump in returning players, and I'm intrigued to see if they can keep them. Next up, Subnautica 2. Fans have been posting screenshots of time capsules found in the first game, which seem to show new creatures not seen before. To start, people had hypothesized these were teasers for a new game, but this theory was actually confirmed recently, and there is an estimated release date of 2025. I both loved and hated both Subnautica and Below Zero, as I have thalassophobia, but I'm still excited to see this released. Still with possible releases, we have Starfield. Now, my review of Starfield was less than positive, but I'm happy to see the game is being worked on. It already has one DLC planned called Shattered Space, but new trademark filings indicate a second already in the works called Starborn. With enough work, I'd be willing to give this game another go, but we'll see what improvements are made. The well-received 2024 survival game Enshrouded looks to be getting its newest major update this month, with new areas, collections, and skill adjustments, all based on community feedback. There will be new character customizations, including an all-new reworked mage build. Now, this game is one I've had on the back burner for a while, waiting for the first big injection of material, and this looks to be it, so stay tuned for some content of that on the channel. A keen observer has noticed that Warner Brothers have posted a job listing to bring someone into the Hogwarts Legacy team to work on a new open-world RPG. Whilst this may be a new venture entirely, chances are it might just be a sequel. I'll let you know more as we find out. Also spotted from a job listing, it seems as though we may be getting a number of things, including a Stellar Blade DLC, a whole new sequel entirely, and what is almost certainly confirmed at this point is a port to PC. Now, it's pretty rare to see a PS5 exclusive make its way to PC this fast, but I'm sure I'm amongst the majority when I say I'm pleasantly surprised. And finally, we've got 3 more releases dropping this next month, first of which is the War Within expansion for World of Warcraft dropping on the 26th of August. This will be the 10th expansion added to the game, and there seems to be no plan to slow down, with 2 more expansions releasing in the next year. The next one, whilst not new, I'm actually very excited about. Kena Bridge of Spirits is a game I played on stream when it came out in 2021, but it's now making its way to the Xbox on the 15th of August. My wife recently started playing this on PS5, and I'll post a video on that soon, but what is strange is there's no confirmation on whether or not it's coming to Game Pass. We shall see. And finally today, Concord. Firewalk Studios' newest flagship hero shooter will be coming to PS5 and PC on the 23rd of August. Dropping around Overwatch's newest hero and the Marvel Rivals closed beta, it honestly couldn't have been a worse time. The open beta had pretty poor numbers, but apparently very positive feedback. Furthermore, this might be the first hero shooter in a while not to feature a battle pass, so I'm intrigued to see how well it does around the launch. But that's it from me this week. I hope you enjoyed. Drop a like and sub if you did, ding that bell to see next week's video. Much love and happy gaming.